Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. I'll be doing another episode today of World in Flames CE Days of Decision 3 Combined Game Solo Playthrough. I just want to quickly mention a couple of things that I've come across, a couple of errors. Last turn, Germany used her level 3 treaty to declare war on Greece. I can't do that. Also, the French used a level 3 treaty to declare war on Germany and didn't pay for anything, no PE shift, none of that, and that's actually wrong too. What the level 3 treaty does is that, and I'll read it, it's on page 25 of the rule book. It says, if a major power declares war on your treaty partner, you may immediately counter by declaring war on the aggressor, regardless of any treaty levels of non-aggression pacts you have with the aggressor, and blah, 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 blah. The U.S., if you do so, you do not need to play your option 4. There is no PE shift, U.S. entry, minor country effects. So in order for the French to be able to have done what they did, it would have been Germany that had declared war on England, the Commonwealth. But what happened was Germany declared war on the Netherlands, and then the Commonwealth, who had guaranteed the Netherlands, declared war on Germany. So the actual steps for that should have been Germany declares war on the Netherlands, the next Democrat impulse, Commonwealth declares war on Germany. Now that gives a casus bellum to the French to declare war on Germany. So the following Democrat impulse, the French could have declared war on Germany and then aligned Belgium. Really doesn't matter at this point. There should have been an additional German PE shift, but I'm not going to go back and change that. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Now, there was the Italian declaration of war on Greece last turn, and the Germans used the same type of treaty language to declare war on Greece in the same impulse. What should have happened is that the Italians declared war on Greece and the Germans declared war on Greece. Now, the cost, the cost, like with the French and the German, that would have cost them, I think, 6 or 8. And the German cost for declaring war on Greece would have been 3. I can't put the minor effects out for the French error thing because it's been too long, but I did put the minor effects out for the German declaration of war on Greece. I'm just gonna go with that as it stands and leave it the way it is. I'm just gonna call the money thing a wash. And yeah, so that's something I came across, and now I know that the level 3 treaty thing, it's only when that particular major power is declared war on by another major power that your level 3 treaty partners can counter declare war on it. It's not, they just don't get a blanket free, I can declare war on anybody who declares war on my treaty partners, minors, or anything like that. So, or if my treaty partner declares war, I can declare war too. That's actually not how it works. It's not supposed to work like that. So I'm glad I found that out. I know now. So any future games that I play of World in Flames, I'll realize that. But it's a minor little error. It's not really huge. But I just thought I'd bring that up just for game accuracy. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, we are on the November-December 1940 turn. Big turn. We're almost getting to 1941 now, which could be a pretty big year, all things considered. Historically speaking, it could be a really big year. So let's start this turn out by looking at the major power starting money. This is going to be really down in the hole. Let me adjust the stand here a little bit. There we go. That's better. All right, so what do we have for starting money? We got starting money Germany at -8. Japan at -1, Italy at -5, the Soviet Union at -2, the Commonwealth at -5, the USA at 0, China at -1, the Free French are currently at -5, and the Vichy French are at 5, but it really doesn't matter because the only thing they can build is naval units, and I really don't see them building any naval units. It's just, I'm just going to keep track of it just cause, but unless somebody declares war on them. But we'll get to that if that ever happens. So I've recorded the bids for the major powers. And let's go and take a look at the initiative position track and see how this is going to pan out. All right. We have bids of 6 for the USA, 1 for the Commonwealth, 2 for Japan, 2 for Germany, and 1 for Italy. Now, Japan, Germany, and Italy are all going to try to go for 2 impulses. The USA bid of 6 is because it's a house rule. Okay, this is November, December 1940. The U.S. has to have an election, so they have the option of outbidding every major power after the bids are putting in. So to outbid all the major powers and secure the number 1 position before any of the major powers reveal that they're taking 1 or 2 options or any of that, they have to put in a bid that's large enough that will give them the number 1 position, and that bid happens to be 6. Their current position at 6, 6 for 6, the +1 gives them a 7. That's going to put them in first. So they will get their election done. The Commonwealth bid 1 with a +2 is 3. Japan bid 2 with a +4 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3. However, the Commonwealth's, can't quite see it, and now we can. The Commonwealth's political effectiveness is 7. And Japan's political effectiveness is 4. So the Commonwealth breaks that tie and will be second, and Japan will be third. And next up is Germany bidding 2. With a +3 is 5. Divided by 2 is 2.5. So that will put them in fourth. And Italy bid 1 with a +3 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, and that'll put them in fifth. So the last card marker goes at Italy, and the first last card marker goes at the U.S. And now the non-bidding major powers, we have the Soviet Union at +2, that'll put them 6. The Free French at +1 puts them at 7th, and China in last at 8th. Alright, let's go see what the U.S. is going to do. Go over here to the Indian Ocean. And we see that the U.S. is going to do IPO number 10. Government falls, election call. So this is the option that a major power who has to have an election has to play. They can play their OC option if this one's already been played. So there's no U.S. entry, there's no modifiers for minor countries, and they do not get to activate a minor for holding an election. I do not think they get to activate a minor. Okay, so the U.S. will get to activate a minor, and they're going to activate Saudi Arabia. So let's grab the markers, head over to the status display, take a look at what this is going to do. We got some markers here. We got a 1 Italian, 2 Commonwealth, and a -1 USA. Here's the U.S. Here's the Saudi Arabia. So the Italian one, that does nothing. The U.S. -1, that does nothing, because it takes at least 2 points to move the marker in these neutral hexes. So we got a Commonwealth 2, that's going to move it closer to the Commonwealth. We'll go there. U.S. does not need to roll to end the turn. So we'll move down to the Commonwealth's turn. And let's see what the Commonwealth is going to do. The Commonwealth owes and align, I believe. They aligned Iraq last turn, so they owe for that. So that is what they're going to do for their political option, is select that option. They do get to activate a minor. And things are not looking good. I don't see much for the Commonwealth to activate that's really... Okay, we got something to activate. The Commonwealth is going to activate Norway. There's Norway up here. So we're going to grab the markers. This really is not going to do much for the Commonwealth. However, it's certainly going to drive Norway far, far away from the fascist ideologies. Let's put the markers out. And grab my tweezers. Alright, so we'll activate the -1 US. That doesn't do anything. Now we got -4 Italian, -4 German. So the Italians and Germans are off this way, so it's going to drive the Norwegian marker down this row. So it's basically 4 hexes. 2-4 for the German, 2-4 for the Italian. That pretty much puts Norway well out of the reach of any kind of German, Italian, or any of that kind of stuff. Alright, last thing we do for the Commonwealth is roll to see if they end the turn, end the political phase. They rolled an 8. Well, that doesn't do it, so we'll move down to Japan. Now, Japan bid for 2 political options, but she's looked at her money and she definitely thinks that she probably can't do that. So what she's going to do is she is going to select option 0D, which is this one right here. See that? This one right here. Build a factory or a synth oil. So I believe she already has a synth oil on the chart, so she's going to build a factory. Okay, it costs 8 build points, and it will take 4 turns to complete. Don't think they get to activate a miner for this. I don't think so. Doesn't say, but doesn't really make sense. I'm going to say when you're building factories, and you don't activate the miner. That doesn't make any sense. But we'll go with that. So you don't have to activate a miner. There's no minor country effects. There's no U.S. entry. So all I have to do is dig out a factory and pay the cost. And I'll come right back. The Japanese have to roll to see if they're going to end the political phase. Do that right here. I rolled another 8. So that's political phase will continue. And we will come back with Germany in just a second. Okay, so the Germans, for the first political option, they're going to pay their 2 owed declarations of war. Now you can do as many declarations of war as you want for each play of the option. So they're gonna burn the declaration of war for Yugoslavia and also for the declaration of war in Greece, which we would have had to do that we didn't do that I decided we were going to do anyway. So that's basically going to take care of that. So they do not get to activate a miner for declaration of war, so there will be no minor activation for this. However, they will have to roll to see if they end the phase. Oh, jeez. There's nothing but high numbers. Okay, 9. So we'll move on to the second German. Oh, I did all the U.S. entry and all that stuff for the declarations. Well, I do that at the time that the declaration of war is made. So that's all been done already. So for the second option, Germany is going to, it's option number 11. They're going to create the Waffen-SS. See that right there? So I will, that's going to cost 6 money. My PM is 3/4 of high. Germany's PM is 3/4 of higher, so they're all set with that. So I will come right back after I do the U.S. entry and the minor country effects with Germany activating a minor. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so the Germans get to activate a minor. They are going to activate Portugal. So grab the markers. Come over here. So what we got 3 German, we got 1 and a 2 for the Italians, that's 3 Italians, and a -1 Japan. So the -1 Japan, that's not going to do anything. Now, the 3 points normally cost 2 points for hex. However, Portugal has a minor alliance with the Commonwealth, so it's going to cost an extra point to move the marker per hex. So the 3 Italian will actually move it 1 hex. So we'll go 1 hex, and the 3 German will we'll move it another hex. So we'll go 1 more hex. So that's it. That's it for that. So Germany gets to roll to see if they end the political phase. Let's see. What do we got? We rolled a 5. Let's see. I'm gonna get a 5 here. Let's see. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 political options have been played. 4 previous political options have been played. So that's a -4 to the die. That brings it to a 1. However, there are 4 to 6 major powers at war, so that adds 1 to the die. So the net die roll will be a 2. The political phase will continue, and we will move down to Italy. All right, let's go see what the Italians want to do. The Italians owe a declaration of war. So they're going to select that option, Italian declaration of war. It's already been paid for. The U.S. entry, minor effects have already all been put out, so that's going to take care of that one. They have to roll to see if they end the political phase. They rolled a 9. The political phase continues. It's like almost normal for this game now. Okay, so for their second political option, they're going to do a minor economic agreement. We've seen that one plenty of times. So they're going to sign a minor economic agreement with Bulgaria to get that 1 resource. So I will pay for that and record the 1 resource being allocated to Italy. This is the last political option played for the political phase, so Italy gets to select to activate a minor. They are going to activate the country that they just, the minor country that they just took a, so now I can't think of it. Minor economic agreement. All right, so let's take a look at the markers. We got some serious pointage here. We got 4 Italian points, and we have 8 German points. So we got 8 German and 4 Italian. So Bulgaria doesn't have any treaties with anybody. So the 8 German is going to move it 4 hexes closer to Germany. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4 Italian is going to move it 2 hexes closer to Italy. 1, 2. And that's where Bulgaria is right now. And that is the end of the political phase. Now, I will roll initiative. I will roll weather. I'm thinking the weather's probably going to be garbage because it's November, December, but I could be wrong. And I'll come right back with a look at the reinforcements for this term. Okay, the initiative modifiers for this turn are +1 for Democrat and Communist, and +2 for Fascist. Just so we know that, before we take a look at the actual initiative roll. The actual initiative roll was 8 for the Democrats, 1 for the Communists, and 3 for the Fascists. So the Fascists came in second with the initiative roll, the Democrats came in first, and the Communists came in last. Okay, so the Democrats decided that, or at least the Commonwealth decided that they need to get their fleet out. They don't need to have all their convoys destroyed again, so they're going to go first. The Fascists decided, well, the weather's probably going to be garbage, so they decided they're going to go last, and the Communists are stuck in the middle. So the weather roll was a 4, which is actually not that bad. It's rain in Arctic, rain in North Temperate, and clear everywhere else. There's no modifier for the next weather roll, and the impulse marker moves up 2 per turn. Now let's take a look at the reinforcements for this turn. The reinforcements are actually getting to be quite numerous. So we got an Italian militia for Venice. We have a communist militia for Lanchao. We have 2 more communist units, communist Chinese that is. We have a communist infantry army, China, and a garrison division. I think we also have yes, there is a communist cav corps as well. That's a nationalist Chinese. We have a Commonwealth pilot. We'll put that on the track for now. 5 pilots now. We have a Japanese militia, Kyoto. We have a Japanese tactical bomber. Not a bad tactical bomber. That's probably going on the board. We have a Japanese garrison army, pretty good one. We have a Japanese headquarters. We have Yamamoto coming on. He's a very good headquarters. We have a Japanese warlord for Shanghai. We have a Japanese, it's going in the construction pool, light cruiser. We have 2 Soviet infantry armies. One good one, one not so good one. We have a German fighter, Bf-109, a pretty good one, email, Spanther 6. We have a German naval float plane, a German mechanized corps. We have 2 German submarines going in the construction pool. We have a whole bunch of, that is a Commonwealth convoy point. We have 2 Commonwealth, 1 pretty good, combat air groups. Put those in the reserve pool for now. We have 5 convoy points. So the Commonwealth got some convoy points back. We have 2 Italian cruisers, light cruiser, heavy cruiser. They will go on the board. We have a American battleship, the USS Washington, going in the construction pool. We have a tanker point for the Commonwealth, going on the map. We have 2 light cruisers for the Commonwealth, going on the map. They will probably go in the home fleet. Yeah, that's where they're going. Actually, they have to go there. We have a Commonwealth transport going in the construction pool. We have an Italian combat air group. That'll go in the reserve pool. We have 3 Japanese combat air groups. They will go in the reserve pool. We have a couple more communist units, Soviet units, a mountain corps, and a motorized army. We have 2 American convoy points. We have an Italian and a Japanese pilot. We'll mark those on the track. And we have we have an Italian submarine going in the construction pool, and an Italian motorized division going on map. So I will get these guys on the map and see if anything's actually going to happen or not. The British are going to sortie their fleet, cover their convoys, and I will come right back with anything that happens or don't happen. So the Democrats have gone. The Commonwealth has moved its fleet out to sea, trying to screen for U-boats. They move some down here, wary of the Spanish Navy. They're kind of actually hoping the Spanish Navy goes for that, because they'll use the fleet in Gibraltar to just crush them. The communists went. There was a few units that moved over in China. A couple units here and there. They actually went and took, because during the Democrat turn, they moved out. These guys should be flipped over. Yes, they should definitely be flipped over. Mountain Hex in the rain is like, what, 8 points? Something like that. So they should be flipped over. But the communists took over defending this hex, trying to give some relief to the nationalists to kind of bolster their line a little bit. That was pretty much it for the communists. The actual Soviets didn't move anything. They left all 5 moves for the Communist Chinese. And during the fascist turn, we have a Italian naval action. They have sortied their fleet. They have gathered their amphibious units, and they are going to make an amphibious assault on Cyprus. So we have to do that. All right. So we're attacking this hex right here. The notional strength is 1. It's not a city hex, it's just a port hex. It's not stacked with a land. Okay, no, okay, it's not adjacent to land. A shore bombardment modifier is a 1, I believe, so that makes it a 2. It cannot trace a basic supply path, so that's -1. So it's going to be 2, 5, it's going to be a 4. And we have it's a 4, right? Did I get that right? 1, 0, and then 2 is 2, so it's a 2. And we have 4, 5, we have 10 points total with the shore bombardment. So that's going to be 10 to 2, that's going to be a 5 to 1. And it's going to be a +1 because the notional unit is flipped over. So 5 to 1 plus 1. Grab a die. This will be on the assault table. And let's see what we get here. 5 to 1 plus 1. We don't have to get anything special. We got a 6, which is not bad. I'll show you the 5 to 1 on the assault table. That's the 6. 5 to 1, 6. On the 5 to 1 becomes a 7. Is asterisk 2S. So the notional unit is killed, no Italian units are dead, and nothing is flipped over. We'll go back over here to the board. The Italian units safely land. They are ashore. That's it for that. The reason it's out of supply is because the Italians actually occupy this sea zone, so the Cyprus units can't trace a basic supply path through the sea zone because of the interfering Italian units. Okay, so that's the end of the... the Germans just kind of shuffled a few units here and there. They didn't do too much. That's the end of the fascists. I will be right back with the Democrat impulse. And okay, before I move on, Japan actually had an attack. We got to resolve first. They have these 3 points here, and they got 2, 7, 13, 18. This 24-3 is an 8-1. That's going to be on the assault table, which becomes a 7-1. And they're just going to roll it. I'm not going to add any pluses or anything. 7-1, straight up. They rolled a very lousy 1. However, 7-1, straight up, is a 1-1. So I'm not going to lose those, obviously. Well, the nationalist unit is dead. I think we're going to lose that. So the Japanese division will die, and everything's going to be turned face down. I think maybe the HQ is going to advance as well. That's probably going to end any offensive activity in this region. But the Japanese did take a resource that they will be able to use. And that's going to trigger a... No, that's not a Chinese city. So it doesn't trigger anything. All right. Okay, that's written down. I just have to remember to put the transport points out, because they're going to need 2 transport points to transport that. Just like that. Alright. Alright, so that's it there for that. Now, I rolled the weather for the next impulse for the Democrats. And the weather roll was a 6, which is not very good weather. It's snow in the Arctic, storm in the North Temperate, rain in the Mediterranean, clear North Monsoon, rain South Monsoon, clear South Temperate. The weather roll gets a +1 next turn, and the impulse marker moves up 2. So, despite all that, the British have decided they're going to try to stop the Italian fleet. So they sorted 2 fleets, one from Gibraltar and one from Alexandria. Or actually, I think it came from Port Said. And so they're going to try to do something about the Italian fleet. So I will be right back with the search rolls and to see what happens. So each side has a +1 to the search dice, even because the Italians have naval aircraft and the British have a carrier plane with a range of 4. So that gives a +1 to both sides. So the search numbers will have +1. The Italians are looking for, I think most of their fleet is in the 2 box, and that's an American, that don't count. And the British fleets are in the 2 and 3 box. Okay, so this one's got a 3, and the Italians have a 3 here. Alright, so basically they're all 3s. But however, the search roll has a +1 to it because it's storm or blizzard. So I roll some dice. Well, don't look like anybody found anybody, because we have a 5 for the Italians, which is modified to a 6. Nothing, find nothing. And we have an 8 that was an 8, wherever it is. Whatever. Anyway, it was an 8. So that's modified to a 9. Nobody found anybody. The Commonwealth had done. Now it's the turn of the Italians. The Italians could actually try to find the Commonwealth if they wanted to. And I don't think they want to. I think they're just going to stay there for now. Okay, so that's the end of the Democrat impulse, and I will be right back with anything that might happen anywhere else. Okay, we're back around to the fascists. The communists didn't do anything. They moved one communist Chinese infantry army in China, and that was it. So the Italians have decided they're gonna go for it. If they could isolate a part of the British fleet, they could really hammer them bad. And Wavell, you're not supposed to be out in the Mediterranean swimming. You're supposed to be there. So it's the same die roll as last. The same die roll that the British had. It's going to be +1 because of friendly nav, and +1 because of carrier aircraft with a range of 4, and +1 to the die because it's raining. So let's see what we get. Well, it's a big giant 0. We got a 7 for the Democrats and a 10 for the fascists. So it looks like it's a giant nothing. Okay, now both sides have the option of aborting. I think the Italians have decided that's enough. They're going to abort. And I'm going to basically just start running through the turn. If something happens, I'll stop and take care of it at that point. Okay, well, the turn actually ended on that impulse, the fascist impulse. I rolled a 1, and that was the end of that turn. There weren't any partisans. The Commonwealth are in a position now to eliminate the partisan in India, but as far as U.S. entry, the net was a +3 for the fascists. Okay, so now let's go to production. So we have for the Germans, most of these major powers except Italy, I believe, are saving oil. So the Germans produced in 34, they started with 17 and they spent 27. They built lots of stuff. They built infantry corps, HQ, a mechanized division, an SS, mechanized SS corps, a motorized division, a militia, a nice Ju-88 pilot, and 5 offensive points. The Japanese produced 19, started with 9, and spent 15, including a combat air group, a couple of light cruisers, pilots, some convoy points. The Italians produced 12, started with 2, and spent 3. They're the big spender here. The Soviet Union produced 15, started with 13, and spent 17. I think that the major powers are getting an idea that global war is about to erupt. The Commonwealth produced 15 this turn. They started with 9 and they spent 13. These guys right here all came out of the repair pool. The U.S. produced 19, started with 10, and spent 18. So they're spending a bunch. They also built a B-17 bomber. First one. Nice B-17. Very expensive. 2 pilots as well. The Chinese, they produced 3. They got 1 from America. And they had 1 from Cadre. So they produced 5, started with 4, and spent 3. The Free French are not buying anything. They're still at -4, and the Vichy French don't really matter. So I will get this onto the chart and get this turn uploaded shortly. And next time we will be starting 1941. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.